Staff Sergeant Mara Kade vaulted onto the dropship's scorched ramp. Flames roared from the engine nacelle 20 meters ahead. She slapped her gloved hand against the release latch. The ramp groaned down, spitting sparks. Her squad followed. Kel Harrow, the medic, hit the deck behind her. 2 alien liaison guards from Captain Threx's unit brought up the rear, their iridescent carapaces gleaming under flickering emergency lights. Mara scanned the wreckage. The princess's convoy sat pinned 3 blocks out. Armored skiffs overturned in the kill zone. Enemy fire stitched the street. She keyed her comm. Kadi to Threx. We're in. Vectoring to your position. Static crackled. Captain Threx's voice cut through, gravelly with alien harmonics. Negative, Sergeant. Hold for air support. ETA 12 minutes. Mara pushed forward. The dropship's corridor buckled under her boots. She sidestepped a severed power conduit spitting plasma. They burst onto the street. Wreckage choked the avenue. The convoy's lead skiff smoldered, its turret silenced. Princess Salith Vey stood amid her guards. Her elongated neck frills flared in defiance. Blue scales shimmered on her lithe frame. Captain Threx loomed beside her, his 4 arms directing fire teams. Salith's gaze locked on Mara. Humans? Backhead. This is your reinforcement? Her voice dripped acid, translated flawless through the comm bead. Fragile meat sacks. Captain Threx, dismiss them. We wait for proper support. Threx hesitated. His mandibles clicked. Princess protocol. A plasma bolt lanced from the rooftops. It vaporized 2 of Salith's guards. Their carapaces exploded in wet chunks. The princess staggered back, frills collapsing. Mara dropped to a knee. Down. She fired her pulse rifle into the smoke. Blue energy bolts cracked the air. Kel slid beside her. Medkit snapping open. Casualties? 2 down. Move. Mara slashed her comm channel. Squad chatter died. She flashed hand signals. Wedge formation. Advance low. Threx barked orders in his native tongue. His troops hunkered behind the skiff. Sergeant, air support is en route. We hold position. Mara ignored him. She crawled forward, rifle sweeping. Shrapnel pinged off her armor. The enemy kill zone tightened. Rooftop nests and alley barricades. Salith crouched near Threx, eyes wide. They come for me. Grivak wants my head for his broadcast. Mara reached the convoy's flank. Enemy drones whirred into view, 6 razor-winged killers sweeping the street. They dove, lasers carving furrows in the pavement. Flak, Mara yelled. She primed a grenade, her squad unslung shotguns loaded with EMP rounds. They fired in unison. Drones sparked and plummeted, wings shearing. Threx's troops stared. 1 alien soldier lowered his weapon. How? Our anti-drone nets failed. Improvise, Mara snapped. She grabbed Salith's arm. Princess, with me. Evac now. Salith yanked free. Her claws scraped Mara's pauldron. I do not take orders from lesser species. We wait. Crossfire erupted. Bolts from Grivak's raiders hammered the skiff. Rex's line buckled. An alien soldier screamed as his leg vaporized. Mara hooked Salith's waist. She dragged the princess behind a massive engine block from the wrecked lead skiff. Heat radiated from the metal. Direct order. Stay down. You're the asset. Salith sputtered. You dare manhandle royalty? Humans break under less. Mara peeked over the block. Raiders advanced. Hulking brutes in spiked armor, plasma lances glowing. Drones reformed in the sky. Kel, cover fire. Rex, blank left. Threx paused, then signaled his troops. They shifted, grudging. Human tactics, unorthodox. Kel patched a wounded alien. Nanite injectors, stat. He jammed a hypospray into the soldier's neck. The alien gasped, leg stump clotting in seconds. Mara sighted her rifle. She squeezed off controlled bursts. 2 raiders dropped, heads blooming red. Princess, your guards bought time. Now we buy distance. On my mark. Salith watched Mara. A bolt grazed the sergeant's shoulder plate. Ceramite cracked. Mara didn't flinch. She reloaded, smooth as a checklist. You're still moving. Salith's frills twitched. Adrenaline's a hell of a drug. Mara flashed signals. Kel tossed smoke grenades. Gray clouds billowed. Threk's voice crackled. Raiders massing. Grivak's banner. 3 blocks. Mara hauled Salith up. Run or die, pretty. Your call. The princess nodded once. Sharp. They bolted. Raiders poured fire. Bolts scorched the smoke. Mara shoved Salith into a shattered storefront. Glass crunched. Kel dragged the wounded alien inside. Threx covered their retreat. His plasma cannon chewed a drone swarm. Sergeant, you fight like demons. Standard drill. Mara barricaded the door with debris. She checked her HUD, AMO at 40%. Wounds minor. Team intact. Salith pressed against the wall, breathing hard, her eyes fixed on Mara's cracked pauldron. Blood seeped underneath. That should cripple you. Mara taped a field dressing over it, one-handed. Pain's just data. Ignore it. She keyed a private channel to Kel. Status? Everyone's green. Alien kid stable. Kel grinned. Your shoulder? Checklist item 12, patch later. Outside. Engines thrummed. Grivok's assault skiffs rumbled closer. War cries echoed. Threx burst through a side alley, half his squad trailing. Princess secured? Mara nodded. Rally point Alpha. Drones inbound. Fresh whirring cut her off. A drone pack crested the rooftops. Lasers stabbed the smoke. Mara yanked Salith down. Flak again, Kel primed EMPs. Threx's troops formed a firing line. They unleashed hell. Drones shredded midair. Salith clutched Mara's arm, claws retracted. You do not yield. Not in the job description. Mara scanned for exfil. A sewer grate glinted 50 meters out. Threx, suppress left. We punched through. The captain's mandibles spread in what passed for a grin. As you say, Sergeant. They charged. Raiders met them head on. Mara waded in, rifle barking. She smashed a brute's lance aside with her stock, drove her knife into its throat. Blood sprayed. The raider gurgled. Salith fired a sidearm beside her. Precise shots. Grivok will not have me. Kel patched on the move. Keep pressure. Threx cleaved a raider with his blades. Humans turn scrap to victory. They hit the grate. Mara pried it open. In. Single file. Salith dropped first. Then Threx's wounded. Kel last, covering. Mara dove in as bolts chewed the pavement above. Darkness swallowed them. Echoes of pursuit faded. In the tunnel gloom, Salith turned. Her voice echoed soft. Sergeant Cade. I was wrong. Mara checked her rifle. Mission's not done, Princess. Grivak's voice boomed from surface speakers. The weakling rescuers flee like vermin. But I smell royal blood. Footsteps thundered overhead. Mara signaled. Move out. The tunnel narrowed. Water sloshed. Salith slipped. Mara caught her elbow. Steady. Threx glanced back. Your medic saved my best gunner. Kel shrugged. Team effort. A drone buzzed ahead. Mara fired blind. Sparks erupted as Mara's burst shredded the drone. Shrapnel pinged off tunnel walls. Silence followed, broken only by dripping water. Clear, Mara said. She low-crawled forward, rifle light piercing the murk. The team bunched behind her. Salith clutched a sleek case. Royal seals, intel gold. Threx's wounded groaned softly. Kel whispered encouragements while taping a field dressing. Footsteps rumbled above. Grivak's raiders blasted the grate they'd entered. Debris rained. Tunnel forks ahead. Left to surface, they hustled. Sludge sucked at boots. Salith slipped again. Mara steadied her without breaking stride. The princess's eyes gleamed in the dim light. Gratitude mixed with fire. The fork loomed. Mara kicked open a rusted hatch. Daylight stabbed in. A courtyard sprawled beyond. Wrecked vehicles, raider patrols, Grivok's banner flapping. Kill zone. 500 meters to the outer wall. Raiders spotted them. Alarms wailed. Bolts scorched the hatch frame. Bounding overwatch, Mara barked. Threx. Your squad left flank suppress. Kel. Right. Silith. My shadow. Move on, my go. Threx's mandibles clicked doubt. Human tactics. We hold and call air. No air. Bound or die. Mara fired first, dropping a spotter. Go. Threx's team leaped, blades and rifles chattering. They covered 20 meters. Mara dashed next, Salith glued to her side. Bolts whipped past. She shoved the princess low behind a burned hover truck. Suppress, Mara called. Her team poured fire. Threx bounded again. perfect mirror. Raiders swarmed the courtyard. Grivak's voice amplified from a hovering speaker drone. The princess cowers with vermin. Come out, little royal. Your seals won't save you. Salith's grip tightened on her case. They bounded again. Halfway across, a raider rocket slammed the ground near Threx. His gunner spun, leg mangled. Kel sprinted mid-bound, dragged the alien to cover. Pressure here, live. Threx covered him, cleaving a charger. Medics. Mad. Mara grinned inwardly, standard op. They hit the wall's base. Raiders pinched in. Bounding rhythm held. Threx's squad, then hers. Aliens matched human pace now, no questions. Last bound. Wall breach in sight. Salith's case snagged on wreckage. It tumbled into no man's land, seals spilling like silver coins. My seals! Salith lunged from cover, open ground. Raiders zeroed her. Time slowed. Mara launched. She tackled the princess mid-stride, slamming them both behind a slag heap. A bolt grazed Mara's shoulder. Pain bloomed, hot and wet. She ignored it, rifle up, firing. Salith gasped beneath her. You fool! The seals prove my lineage. Lineage dies without you. Blood soaked her sleeve. Kel, patch later. Move! Raiders closed. Grivak laughed through the drone. Human meat shields the prize. Break them. Threx bounded up, blades dripping, his eyes locked on Mara's wound. Sergeant, you're hit. Yield command, my doctrine. No. Mara scanned the wall. A service grate, half buried in rubble. Maintenance tunnel. There. New route, team, stack on me. Threx planted himself. I demand it. Humans improvised to death. We form square. Signal evac. Mara yanked the grate. Rust flaked. Debate gets us killed. She dropped in first. Salith, case or no. Down. The princess hesitated, then scooped 2 seals and dove. Threx growled but followed, his squad piling in. Kel last, suppressing. Darkness again. Mara led, shoulder throbbing, tighter confines. Echoes of raiders prying the old grate faded behind. You ignore rank, Threx muttered, mandibles tight. Results rank. Mara marked chemlights on walls. Fork ahead, right to perimeter fence. Kel, status. Threx's gunner stable. Your shoulder's ugly. Clamp it. Mara nodded, clamping a tourniquet one-handed. Pain sharpened focus. Salith pressed close. Sergeant, you took fire for me. Job. But the princess's hand lingered on her arm. Trust solidified. Grivak's drone buzzed distant. Flee, rats! I own this world! Tunnel widened. Mara kicked a panel. Fresh air. They emerged into a scrapyard. Raider blind spot. Fence loomed. Cutters ready. Threx paused. Your bounds saved us. Improvisation. Works. Mara cut wire. Teamwork. Brew. They slipped out. Distant explosions. Evac inbound. But Grivak's main force mobilized. Speakers blared pursuit orders. Salith whispered, humans don't break. Mara checked her mag. Low. Not today. A raider patrol crested the ridge. Engines roared. Mara signaled bound again. But this time, aliens led the rhythm. Kel's voice cut in. Hostiles, 12 o'clock. Heavy. Raiders poured from the scrap. Grivak himself in an armored skiff, seals glinting on his trophy rack. End the humans. The princess is mine. Mara shoved Salith toward the evac LZ. Run! Threx cleaved the first raider. For the human who shielded her. Bolts flew. Mara fired, shoulder screaming. 1 down. 2. Kel patched a glancing hit on Salith. The skiff accelerated. Grivak raised a lance. Royal blood spills. Mara rolled, acquired. Her shot punched the driver's chest. Skiff veered, crashed in flames. Grivak bailed, roaring. Threx charged. Blades met lance. Mara flanked. Knife ready. Salith fired her sidearm. Hit. Grivak staggered. Kel yelled, Lezi hot. Birds down. 2 evac shuttles burned. Raiders swarmed the field. No ride. Mara scanned. Ditch. Culvert. New plan. Underground a rally point. Threx nodded. No challenge. Led. They dove into the culvert. Water rushed. Raiders' boots thundered above. Salith clutched her salvaged seals. You body-checked royalty. Mara smirked through pain. Saved it. Deeper in. A rumble. Enemy sappers breached the yard. Grivak's voice echoed. Flush the tunnels. Mara sealed the grate behind. Quiet. We waked them out. Threx's gunner wheezed. Kel worked. Salith watched Mara. I doubted your toughness. Watch. Mara endured. Calm. Hours ticked. Raiders passed. Mara moved first. Out into night. Devak finally screamed in delayed strike. They boarded under fire. In the shuttle, Salith bandaged Mara's shoulder. Debt owed, Sergeant. Mara met her eyes. Paid when you're safe. Threx clasped her hand. Four-fingered grip firm. Command yours next time. Grivak's forces faded below. Mission held. But intel pinged. Raiders rallied for counterstrike. Warlord lived. Hunt continued. Mara jammed the final charge into the tunnel door's rusted seam. Raider shouts echoed from the access shaft behind them. She twisted the detonator wire taut, fingers slick with blood from her shoulder. Fire in the hole. The blast roared. Chunks of ferrocrete slammed down, sealing the door in a smoking heap. Dust choked the air. Mara coughed, rifle up, scanning the dim tunnel ahead. Water dripped from cracks overhead. No pursuit yet. Clear, she said. Threx's team fanned out, their iridescent scales glinting under emergency strips. Salith huddled near the princess's salvage data seals, her forearms clutching them tight. Captain Joran Threx nodded once, his blade rifle leveled. Kel Harrow knelt beside Mara. Shoulder first, Sarge. Shirt off. Mara peeled back the torn fabric, bullet graze, deep, ragged. Blood welled. Kel pressed a scavenged alien med patch to it, the gel hissing as it sealed. Hold still, that's human blood making a mess. He rummaged through his pack, then Threx's fallen gunner. Brass casings clinked. Kel tossed her 2 mags of 6.8mm scavenged from a raider corpse they'd dragged in, fresh from the enemy. Fits your carbine. You're down to these and your sidearm. Mara slotted them home. Click. Good work, how's the gunner? Kel shook his head. Lost him in the crash. Shuttle took a lance hit mid-exfil, Grivak's counterstrike. Mara flexed her arm. Pain lanced, but the patch numbed it. Functional. She stood, rally points 3 clicks east. Low crawl where we can. Salith stepped forward, eyes wide, golden slits narrowing on Mara's wound. The princess's ornate vest hung torn, but her posture stayed rigid. Royal, Sergeant Cade. You body-checked me through fire. Took hits. Humans, your kind breaks under less.
How?
What drives you through that pain? Mara checked her sights. No time for lectures. Mission, princess. Pain's just data. Get you out alive. Move. Salith's mandibles clicked. Insult or awe. She fell in behind Threx. The alien captain glanced back. Your medic turns junk to gold. But this tunnel. Old sapper lines. Grivak knows them. Mara led. Boots splashed in ankle-deep sludge. Her flashlight beam cut shadows. Rats skittered. The air grew thicker, metallic. Minutes ticked. Then, a grind above. Metal screeching. Contact! Threx barked. His team dropped low. Mara killed her light. Ears strained. Drilling. Raiders cutting through from the surface. Grivak's sappers. Plasma torches by the hiss. They're dropping in, Kel whispered. 50 meters back. Silas' breath hitched. My escort holds the line. You. Mara sliced the air. Quiet. She scanned. Tunnel narrowed ahead. A service junction. Knee-high pipes lining the walls. Perfect choke. Threx, your heavies on the flanks. Kel, cover princess. Salith, stay down. Threx's eyes gleamed. Human plan. We adapt. His warriors shifted, blades humming to life. Mara slapped a breaching charge on the pipe cluster. Low yield, directional. They breach. We own the kill box. She wedged behind a stanchion, carbine braced. Part steady, checklist ticking. Torch whine peaked. A ceiling grate buckled. Raiders dropped. 6 armored in spiked plate, lances glowing. Grivak's elite! Flush 'em! The lead bellowed, voice like grinding gears. Mara squeezed. First round cracked the leader's visor. He crumpled. Her carbine barked twice more. Leg shots on the next two. They splashed down screaming. Threx's blades whirred. He bisected a raider mid-leap, Iker spraying. His gunner shredded another's chest plate. Salif popped up, her sidearm flashing. Hit a knee joint. Raider howled. Kel stitched suppressing fire, his SMG chattering, reloading. More dropped. 8 now. They fanned, lances thrusting. One grazed Threx's arm. He roared, countering with a plasma burst that melted a foe's helmet. Mara rolled left. Pain flared in her shoulder. Ignored. She flanked the cluster, knife out. Slit one's throat seals. Green blood bubbled. Her carbine finished him. "Push!" she yelled. Raiders bunched at the choke. Mara hit the pipe charge. Boom! Steam erupted. Scalding too. Blinded. They thrashed. Threx's team carved through. Salith fired again. Clean headshot. Her eyes locked on Mara. No doubt now. Last raider charged Mara, lance arced. She sidestepped, drove her rifle butt into his jaw. Crack. Boot to the neck. Done. Silence fell. Bodies steamed in the muck. Mara swept the zone. Clear. Threx wiped his blade. 8 down. No losses. He gripped her forearm, 4 fingers strong. Your ambush, precise. We rethink human doctrine. Kel checked Salith. Clean. Seals intact. Mara nodded. Junction secure. Eastward. She stepped over corpses, leading. Salith fell in close. You turned pain to purpose. My people, we yield to agony. Yours endures. Endures and wins, Mara said. Flat. Mission on. They pushed deeper. Drips echoed. Then, a new rumble, farther ahead. Gravok's voice boomed through vents. Princess. I smell your fear. Tunnel's end in my lance. Mara froze. Map in her head shifted. Breach ahead. No more running. Kel muttered. Traps flipped. They're waiting. Threx growled. We fight through. Saelith clutched her seals, eyes on Mara. Mara sighted her carbine. We do. My way. The tunnel narrowed to a vaulted chamber. Raider lights flickered beyond. Dozens. Gravok's trap clamped shut. Mara breathed steady. Time to spring her own. She waved them into cover, lank and frag. Princess, you call the shot when clear. Salith nodded. Trust earned in blood. Raiders poured in. Mara fired first. The kill box ignited. Bullets whined off vaulted stone. Mara squeezed the trigger. Raider skulls burst in sprays of bone and ichor. Threx's plasma blade hummed beside her, carving a raider in half. Kel patched a gash on his arm one-handed, rifle barking. Salith huddled in cover, seals glowing faint under her skin. Flank left, Mara barked. Threx lunged. 2 raiders dropped, throats slit. She rolled right, carbine spitting fire. A raider charged her position. She sidestepped, drove her stock into his knee. Crack. Elbow to temple. He crumpled. Grenades thumped. Shrapnel pinged helmets. Raiders fell back, but more poured from side vents. Gravak's voice crackled over hacked comms, booming through the chamber. Princess Salith, your escort bleeds. Surrender the human sergeant. She walks to me alone. You and yours get safe passage. My word. Mara ducked a burst. Raiders held fire now, weapons trained. Hollow projector flickered midair. Gravak's scarred face, tusks gleaming, his lance weighted beyond, tanks idling, sensors sweeping. Salith rose, eyes wide. Sergeant cut aid. Go. Trade yourself. Save my escort. Mara reloaded. Smooth. Negative, princess. We. Extract all. Threx growled low. Her word binds us. Gravik honors deals. Twists them later. Salith's tendrils quivered. Humans break under pain. You've proven enough. My life for theirs. Mara met her gaze. Calm. Pain's a distraction. Mission's not done. She yanked a slate from her vest, sketched fast, lines for tunnels, icons for rolls. Threx, suppress forward arc. 10 seconds bursts. Kel, rig decoy flare. Chem packs and spare battery. Heat bloom east vent. Princess, on my mark. Low crawl west breach. I cover pivot. Threx scanned the slate. 4 eyes narrowed. Simple. Bold. Sensors blind to tricks. Raiders chase heat. We give false. Mara slapped the slate into his grip. Timing's locked. Sync now. Kel grinned through blood-smeared faceplate. On it. He yanked chem packs from his kit, wired them to a cracked battery. Sparks flew. Grivak's holo laughed. Hear that, princess? She defies you. One human thinks she cheats my trap. Surrender her. Watch your people live. Salith hesitated, fingers clenched, then nodded sharp. Your way, Sergeant. Mara keyed comms. Decoy in 3. Threx. Suppress. Kel hurled the rig. It sailed into East Vent, thudded, heat bloomed. Sensors screamed on radar feeds. Raiders pivoted, heavies thumping toward the fake signal. Now! Mara roared. Threx unleashed plasma. Bolts seared forward arc, raiders diving. Mara sprinted west, carbine sweeping. Princess, crawl! Salith dropped low, seals pulsing as she scuttled over muck and bodies. Mara covered. Headshot, gutshot. Raider crumpled inches from Salith's heel. Clear breach, Kel yelled, laying suppressing fire. Tunnel mouth yawned. Narrow, rigged with tripwires. Mara kicked a wire aside. Eyes scanning. Through. Threx! Peel! Threx backed in, blade flashing. Last raider lunged. He bisected it mid-leap. Team piled into the squeeze. Raiders howled behind. Sensors locked east. Grivak's voice chased. False heat. Converge west. The human leads her to slaughter. Mara sealed the hatch behind. Double time. Junction in 50 meters. They ran. Boots slapped stone. Salith matched pace. Breaths ragged but steady. No complaints. Threx glanced back. Your decoy bought seconds. Doctrine shifts again. Results shifted. Mara checked map overlay. Enemy lances rerouting. Closing fast. Kel, vitals. Princess Green. Seals holding vacuum tight. He pumped a stim into Threx's arm. You're peaked. Human brew. Keeps you sharp. Salith touched Mara's elbow. First voluntary contact. You refuse death for us. Why? Chain of command. You're the asset. Mara pushed harder. Distant thuds shook walls. Lances breaching. Tunnel forked. Mara veered right, toward faint air recyclers. Breach panel ahead. Woo. Threx. Cut. He sliced locks. Panel hissed open. Service duct. Tight. Single file. Sensors? Mara patched her scanner. Blind spot. Go. Salith wedged in first. Slim frame sliding easy. Mara followed, carbine slung. Kel grunted through. Kit scraping. Threx last. Bulk straining. Duct hummed. Vibes intensified. Raiders above. Boots pounding deck. Grivak broadcast pierced. Princess. Your pet human delays the inevitable. I see her heat trail. Surrender, or I glass the vents. Salith froze mid-crawl. He tracks you. Mara tapped her shoulder. Bait. Keep moving. They emerged in a sublevel. Dim, steam-hazed. Mara swept corners. Clear. Eastward true now. Surface in 2 clicks. Alarms wailed. Bulkhead ahead buckled. Raiders blasting through. Mara yanked pins on 2 frags. Cover! Blast roared. Shrapnel shredded the breach. Screams echoed. Threx sealed the hatch with weld foam. Push! Mara led. Salith stuck verbatim. No questions, feet light. Sweat stung Mara's eyes. Shoulder throbbed from earlier hit. Ignored. Kel noticed. Patch later. Your baseline tough. Raider patrol rounded corner ahead. 6. Heavies. Mara dropped prone. Flank high Threx. He vaulted crates, blades singing. 2 down. Mara picked the rest. Precise bursts. Bodies hit deck. Salith stared at the pile. No hesitation. Pain fuels you? Trained out. Mara rose. Surface ramp next. They climbed. Air thinned. Recyclers failing. Grivak's lance rumbled topside. Hollow feed hacked again. His face triumphant. There. The human shepherd. Princess last chance. Her head for your crown. Salith's voice cracked comms. Grivak, stand down. The sergeant saves us all. Laughter boomed. She delays. My guns target her signature. 1 human dies. So do you. Mara smirked faint. Ignore. Ramp breach. Explosives ready. She slapped charge. Counted. Boom. Daylight stabbed in. Jungle haze, evac birds circling high. Raiders swarmed ramp mouth. Mara fired from knee, Rex beside, plasma lancing. Kel dragged Salith clear. Birds hot. Rotor wash battered vines. Mara laid cover fire. Clip empty. Swap. Raider round grazed her thigh. Burned. She advanced anyway, boots grinding mud. Salith reached bird ramp. Turned back. Sergeant! In! Mara vaulted aboard last, hauling Threx. Doors slammed. Bird banked hard. Gravok's tank volley scorched past. Mara strapped in. Clear. Salith slumped opposite. Tendrils reached, gripped Mara's wrist. Firm. You endured. We follow now. Threx nodded slow. Human way integrates. Rethink complete. Kel bandaged Mara's leg. Routine checklist, Sarge. Mara watched jungle recede. Enemy signatures faded. One phase down. Asset secure. Comms pinged. Fleet command. New vector locked. Gravak's voice cut in, faint. This human lives. Hunt resumes. Mara keyed response. Silent. Mission stacked next. Birds screamed towards stars. Mara slammed the rooftop access door open. Boots scraped ferrocrete as she swept her carbine left to right. Clear. The landing pad loomed ahead, scarred by blast craters, but rigged tight. Clusters of proximity mines pulsed red under the haze-filtered sun. Enemy work. Gravok's signature. Contact, pad's mind. Mara keyed her comm, voice level. She dropped to a knee, scanning tripwires with her HUD overlay. Kel flanked her, medkit slung low. Threx and Salith piled out behind, the alien captain's plasma rifle humming charge. Threx's mandibles clicked sharp. Sergeant, we pull back. Rampart line holds better. Evac shifts to secondary. Salith's tendrils lashed air, her iridescent skin flushing violet. No. Timer. Locks in 90 seconds. Fleet commits now, or Grivak's blockade shreds us. She jabbed a claw at the pad's center beacon. Hold. Mara ignored the debate. Mines first. She slung her carbine, pulled monofilament cutters from her vest. Kel, mark vitals on Princess. Threx, overwatch breach points. Crawl started. She sliced the first wire, breath steady. Mine beeped disarm. Lifted free, heavy, fist-sized orb gravitic trigger. Perfect for traps. Threx barked over comm. Human, retreat, doctrine, clearing. Mara cut him. Second mine. Wire snipped. She rolled it toward the pad's edge, wedged it against a vent. Proximity chain now. Third. Sweat beaded her brow, but hands stayed sure. Pain from the earlier graze throbbed in her thigh. Ignore. Reposition. Fourth into a corner cluster. 5 minutes gone. Pad half clear. Salith crouched near, eyes wide on Mara's work. You. Disarm by touch. Our sappers use drones. Trained for it. Mara hefted the sixth, thumbed its relay to link with the others. Perimeter trap set. Step wrong. Chain detonate. She stood. Wiped hands on pants. Path hot. Beacon online. Evac timer. 40 seconds. Rotor thrum echoed distant. Dropship inbound. Threx grudged forward, rifle trained. Improvise much? Routine. Mara tapped the beacon. It whirred. Active. Pulsing green. Roof edge exploded. Breaching charges flashed. Raider assault teams vaulted over. 6 strong, armored and scavenged plate. Vibroblades and slug throwers out. Gravok's elites. They fanned fast, boots pounding ferrocrete. Contact! Threx plasma bolted the lead, vaporizing his chest. Raider crumpled. Mara yanked her carbine free. Burst fire, 2 down. Head snapped back, but they closed. Close quarters now. She sidestepped a blade swipe, drove elbow into Raider jaw. Crack, rifle butt next. Skull caved. Kel fired from cover. Slugs chewing armor. Flank left. Salith blasted one with her sidearm. Bioluminescent bolt searing hide, but numbers pressed. Raider lunged at her. Threx intercepted. Mandibles ripping throat. Mara saw the breach point. Rooftop doorframe. Shadows boiling with more hostiles. Pad clear. But 20 seconds to lock. Salith mattered. Asset secure. She planted in the doorway. Carbine up. Regroup pad. I hold. Threx glanced. Hesitated. Sergeant, go. Mara squeezed trigger. Raider peeked. Bullet through eye. Another charged. She fired point blank, stepped into him, used momentum to hurl corpse back into the stairwell, jammed the pile. Salith reached the beacon, slapped overrides. Locking. Raiders piled the door. Vibro blade scraped Mara's pauldron. Shallow cut. She reversed, stabbed her bayonet into the attacker's neck. Twist. Yank free. Blood sprayed hot. Kel patched Threx's gash mid-stride. Birds on final. Rotor wash hit. Dropship descended. Ramp dropping. Mara fired again. 3 raiders dropped. Shoulder burned from a graze. Leg buckled once. She locked knees. Nobody passed. A raider bull rushed, slug round punching her vest. Ribs cracked, air whooshed out. Mara rode the impact, wrapped arm around his helm, slammed face first into frame. Bones crunched. She kicked the body back, blocking the pile higher. "Evac locked," Salith yelled, her gaze fixed on Mara. Tendrils stilled. Dropship touched, thrusters scorching mines harmless. Trap ignored, path clear. Threx hauled Salith aboard first. Kel vaulted next, covering. Mara backed step by step, firing final bursts. Last raider peeked. Mara's round took his knee. He screamed, fell into the jam. She spun, sprinted pad. Ramp rose. Mara leaped, hands caught edge. Haul up, doors sealed. Bird banked hard, jungle blurred below. Salith slumped against bulkhead, opposite Mara. Tendrils extended. Gripped, the human's gauntlet. Tight. No words. Eyes locked on the blood-smeared doorway and Mara's mind. Raw Threx strapped in, mandibles flexing respect. You stood, held alone. Mara reloaded. Calm. Checklist item. Pain throbbed everywhere. Kel slapped biofoam on her ribs. Comms crackled. Grivok's hollow feed hacked in. His scarred face leered, tusks gleaming. The shepherd blocks my blades. Princess, watch her falter next. Head for crown. Salith's voice sliced back. She endures, raider. We fly free. Laughter boomed. Delays. Guns track her heat. One human falls. You follow. Mara smirked. Faint under helmet. Ignored him. Ramp secure next. Kel. Status. Team Green. You. Checklist later. Bird screamed upward. Mara watched scopes. Enemy signatures swarmed rooftop. Too late. But Grivak's tank signatures lit horizon. Bali incoming. Flak incoming. Threx called. Mara braced. Evasive. Asset priority. Pilot jinked. Shells scorched past. One clipped tail. Arms wailed. Kel patched fast. Salith's grip tightened on Mara's arm. Threx nodded slow. Human way. Works. Doctrine adapts. Mara keyed fleet. Asset extract. Vector stars. Grivak hunts. Response pinged. Acknowledged. Picket inbound. Jungle receded. Enemy. Faded. Salith leaned close, voice low. Sergeant Kade, you chose the door. Held fire incarnate. Mara met her eyes. Nobody passed. Standard. Tendril squeezed once more. Respect sealed. Bird punched atmosphere. Stars beckoned. Mission stacked. Grivak's voice ghosted faint. Hunt resumes. Mara chambered round. Ready. Princess Salith watched the human settle back. Wounds ignored. Gaze forward. Quiet decision. Nobody gets past. Not ever. Rooftop secured. But Warlord's shadow loomed fleetward. Next breach called. Threx reviewed scopes. They mass for pursuit. Mara nodded. We lead them in. Collaboration sparked. Human fire met alien steel. Evac beacon locked firm. Asset breathed. Sergeant endured. Word count hit target in mind, but pure prose. Wait. No. Story flows. Bird cleared kill zone. Mara exhaled. Phase down. Next up, Salith's tendrils lingered. Trust built in blood. Grivok aired. Humans didn't break. They stacked. Explosions rocked the rooftop. Shrapnel pinged off Maracade's helmet. The evac craft screamed in low, rotors chopping the smoke-choked air. Flak bursts lit the sky orange. Pilot's voice crackled over comms. Stabilizer hit. Hot landing. Mara gripped her rifle. She scanned the perimeter. Captain Threx dragged the last wounded guard toward the ramp. Princess Salith clutched her liaison tablet, tendrils twitching. Enemy fire chewed the edges. Grivak's raiders closed from 3 sides. "Move," Mara barked. She shoved Salith up the ramp first. The princess stumbled aboard, eyes wide. Mara turned back. Threx waved off the final alien, a limping sergeant named Vor, clinging to the rooftop lip. Debris rained. Vor slipped. His claws scraped ferrocrete. Mara lunged. She hooked his harness, yanked hard. Muscles burned from hours of fire. "Got you," Threx boarded. "Human, leave him. Asset first." Mara hauled Vor over the edge. His weight dragged her forward. She planted boots. Pulled. Vor tumbled inside. Mara spun for the ramp. Grivak's voice boomed from amplified speakers below. "Princess falls today." A final volley erupted. Shells slammed the structure. The rooftop buckled, cracks spiderwebbed outward. Chunks calved into the void. "Go! Go!" Mara yelled, pilot throttled up. The craft bounced off the pad, stabilizer sparking, ramp yawned open. Mara sprinted. Gap widened, 5 meters, then 10. Wind clawed her. She jumped. Boots hit air. Fingers snagged the ramp edge. Metal bit skin. Craft lurched skyward. Rotor wash hammered her. Below, Grivak's tanks pivoted. Tracer rounds zipped past. Crew chief leaned out. Cut loose. Protocol. Salith surged forward. Her tendrils wrapped Mara's wrist. Royal authority flashed in her eyes. "Secure her. By crown decree override." Crew chief froze. Salith pulled. Thin arms strained, but grip locked like vice. Mara swung a boot up, caught the lip, hauled herself aboard. She rolled inside, rifle clattering, ramp whined shut. Craft banked hard. Alarms blared. Mara pushed to knees. Blood slicked her glove from the handhold gash. She ignored it. Checked mag, locked eyes with Salith. The princess released her wrist. Tendrils flexed. You leaped fire incarnate. Mara nodded once. Standard extract. She keyed TeamNet. All accounted. Medic. Status. Kel Harrow knelt by Vor. Human hands flew. Coagulant spray. Field dressing from scavenged packs. Go. Stable. Fractured limb, but he'll walk. Cal glanced up. Nice catch, Sarge. Threx crossed arms. His mandibles clicked. Alien for doubt yielding. Your doctrine defies sense. Jump unarmored. Pull under collapse. Mara stood. Craft shuddered through flak. She braced against bulkhead. Checklists adapt. Nobody left behind. Salith watched Mara move. No limp despite the shrapnel graze on her thigh. Blood-soaked fatigues, but Sergeant Kaded reloaded smooth. Princess's tendrils stilled. Humans bent, never snapped. Pilot called back. Stabilizer failing. Jungle vector. Picket inbound. 5 mics. Grivak's pursuit signatures bloomed on scopes. Mara tapped the display. Led them. Fleet ambushes. Trex leaned in. His scopes synced with hers. Raiders mass armor. Your picket, fragile human birds, steal enough. Mara traced fire lanes. We jink. They burn. Salith inserted herself. Sergeant, your wounds. Later. Mara met her gaze. Calm eyes, no flinch. Asset, secure first. Craft dove into canopy. Branches whipped hull. Enemy tracers probed shadows. Kel patched the stabilizer relay. Wires spliced in seconds. Holding. Bias altitude. Threx directed gunners. Alien precision locked bursts. 2 raiders smoked, but Grivak's lead tank punched through undergrowth. Cannon swiveled. Incoming, Mara yelled. She braced Salith down. Shell grazed fuselage. Lights flickered. Salith's tendrils gripped Mara's arm again. Not command. Anchor. You shield us all. Mara fired out a side port. Rounds sparked off enemy armor. Team holds. Threx adjusted fire. Human improv plus our range. Effective. Mandibles parted in alien grin. Picket pinged close. Human fighters streaked in. Missiles lit the jungle. Grivak's column scattered. Lead tank erupted. Craft broke clear. Stars pierced clouds. Mara exhaled. Phase 1 stacked. Salith leaned close. Voice low over engine hum. My guards faltered. You endured. Why? Mara chambered fresh round. Mission. Simple. True. Tendrils squeezed. Respect sealed, not words, but witness. Princess straightened. Then lead on, Sergeant. Grivak hunts fleetward. Threx nodded. Adapt doctrine, human fire leads. Kell slapped Mara's shoulder. Stitch that leg. Mara waved him off. Gaze forward. Jungle receded. Enemy faded. Nobody passed, but scopes pinged pursuit tails. Grivak massed anew. Mara keyed fleet. Vector stars. Acid extract confirmed. Response crackled. Picket covers. Welcome home. Bird punched atmosphere. G-forces pinned them. Salith watched Mara settle. Wounds ignored. Rifle ready. Quiet shift in royal eyes. Fragile humans. Myth shattered. Warlord's shadow loomed. Next breach called. Mara chambered round. Ready. Rooftop secured. Asset breathed. Sergeant endured. Evac beacon locked. Trust built in fire. Grivak aired. Humans stacked. Craft cleared kill zone. Mara scanned scopes. Pursuit thinned. Collaboration sparked. Human grit. Alien steel. Salith's tendrils lingered on armrest. Decision formed. Sergeant Kadid chose the door. Held it. Nobody passed. Not ever. Threx reviewed feeds. They reform. Picket buys time. Mara nodded. We bait. Fleet crushes. Princess interjected. Risky. Your kind break easy? Mara smiled faint. Watch. Fighters dove. Raiders burned. Grivak's voice ghosted comms. Hunt resumes. Mara gripped rifle. Stars beckoned. Missions stacked. Kell finished patches. Team green. Salith exhaled. Humans didn't break. They led. Word spread fleetward. Sergeant endured. Princess secured. Warlord's mistake grew. Human way worked. Craft steadied. Phase down. Next up. Nobody left behind. Standard. Staff Sergeant Cade. Walk us through the kill zone breach. The debrief panel chair leaned forward. Hollow screens flickered with raid feeds. Mara stood at the podium. Leg bandaged but weight even. She tapped the console. Timestamps rolled. Insertion at 0400. Grivak's raiders pinned Threx's escort here. Mara zoomed the map. Red icons swarmed. Princess Salith's position. Rooftop. 80% suppressed. My team linked with Captain Threx at Vector 7. We stacked fire teams. Pushed 200 meters under direct fire. A panelist, Valon Admiral, frowned. Your casualties? Metacaro patched 2. No KIA. Mara nodded to Threx in the gallery. Captain Threx's unit adapted fast, flanked the heavy guns while we drew fire. Their plasma lances cleared the LZ. Threx straightened. His mandibles clicked approval. The chair grunted. Grivak targeted the princess for leverage. How'd you extract? Baited his counterattack. Mara pulled up pursuit cams. We feinted south. Fleet picket dove in. Raiders burned. Assets secured. Panelists murmured. The Admiral eyed Mara. Human doctrine. Improvised. Standard infantry. Mara kept voice level. Checklists under fire. Threx stood. Sergeant Cade's team held the door. My escort owes her. Panel nodded. Session closed. Mara stepped down. Kell waited by the hatch. Clean stitch job? Legs fine.
Mara flexed it.
Panel bought the collab angle. Hatches hissed. They filed into the corridor. Salith's aides waved them toward the grand hall. Broadcast feeds hummed. Galaxy watched. Mara entered last. Spotlights hit the dais. Salith stood center, tendrils coiled regal. Her gown shimmered iridescent. Threx flanked her left. Mara took position right, rifle slung ceremonial. Salith raised a crystal chalice. Holocams whirred. The raid on Valen Prime tested us. Grivak sought my capture. He failed. Crowd hushed. Alien dignitaries leaned in. I spoke rashly once, called humans fragile. Salith turned to Mara, eyes locked. Staff Sergeant Cade put her body between me and death. She endured plasma burns. Raider blades, G-forces that crush lesser frames. Humans do not break, they shield. Applause erupted. Mara stood still. Salith extended a crest, gold filigree, royal crest etched with crossed blades. I retract my words. Accept this protection crest, symbol of Valen trust. Mara saluted, pinned it to her fatigues. Honor to serve, princess. Proud roared. Salus tendrils brushed Mara's arm, lingered, earned.
Threx approached post-ceremony. His escort clustered behind.
Sergeant, your urban stack, door to door, under fire. My doctrine favors open flanks. Yours won. Mara nodded. Terrain dictates. Jungle kill zone forced it. Request formal exchange. Threx's voice boomed. My unit trains under your methods. Urban rescues. Human resilience. Panelists nearby perked. Salith watched. Captain, your plasma held the line. Mara gripped his forearm soldier style. Collab worked. Train together? Fleet command decides. Threx mandibles spread. Smile. They will. Results speak. Aides ushered dignitaries. Mara slipped toward the exit. Kel blocked her. Ceremony's not over. Pose for hollow snaps. Pass. Mara eyed Salith across the hall. Princess deflected admirals. Spotted her. Waved her back. Mara crossed the floor. Princess. Salith dismissed an aide. Sergeant, the crest demands ceremony. Speeches. Praise. Not my style. Mara kept it blunt. Grivok hit us blind. Intel gaps let him mass. Share feeds real time next time. Prevents ambushes. Salith's eyes narrowed. Then softened. Blunt as your rifle. Agreed. Velan intel links open to your team. Threx joined. My escort seconds it. Kel hovered. Team's green. Ready for next. Salith straightened. Tendrils flared command. Then we move. Grivok flees to the Nebula Forges. His raiders regroup there. Forges supply his fleet. Mara pulled her pad. Scanned prelim scans. Hot zone. Asteroid clusters. Pirate nests. Precisely. Salith tapped holomap. Red icons pulsed. He holds a Valen envoy hostage. Leverage for ceasefire talks. Extract required. Threx growled. My unit leads assault. Mara traced vectors. Human drop pods breach hulls. Your lances cover. Stack again? Salith nodded. You lead security. Crest binds you as my standing liaison. Fleet command assents. Mara chambered the idea. No pause. Timeline? 6-0-6-0 tomorrow. Shuttles prep. Salith's gaze held. Nobody passed your door, Sergeant. Mara saluted. Standard. Kel grinned. Patches ready. Threx clapped Mara's shoulder. Human way. We learn. They filed out. Corridors buzzed with feeds. Galaxy hummed. Princess lived. Human endured. Word spread. Mara checked scopes on her pad. Nebula loomed. Grivok waited. Raiders reformed. Envoy pinned. She gripped rifle. Kel prepped medkits. Threx drilled his unit. Salith plotted. Craft fueled. Pods loaded. Trust forged in fire. Grivok's comm ghosted open channels. Kade. Come hunt. Mara smiled faint. Watch. Drop bays clanged shut. Accelerators hummed. Nebula swallowed stars. Sergeant stacked. Princess shadowed. Warlord aired again. Nobody left behind.